Imagine sitting with your favorite tiny humans, searching for a book to read, and they notice something. And with their eyes wide, they look up and ask, why do none of the characters look like me? At that moment, you realize they don't see themselves as the heroes of their own stories. And you decide to right this wrong, but you're faced with a massive challenge that many people don't overcome. I know this story because it's mine. I want to introduce you to my little sister, Nyela and Una. The good news is, my story has a happy ending, but many people struggle to put together their talents to bring their stories to life. The problem that we're looking to solve is that self publishing authors struggle to find affordable, quality art for their stories, and illustrators are looking for portfolio and revenue opportunities in an increasingly competitive landscape. We're looking to start with self publishing authors and illustrators with children's books with experience between 1 to 5 years and trying to advance in their careers. Hi, I'm Maurice Davis, one of the co founders of Inkto, and we are an online platform that matches illustrators and authors together so they can build their story. Our customers are the authors and the illustrators' early stage careers that are looking to grow and advance. During our customer discovery process, we found four interesting things. The authors wanted to pay for illustrations outright. They were looking for easier ways to find illustrators. Both the author and the illustrator wanted a vetting process for quality, and both were looking for a central place to find resources to help them. Here's how the process works. It's so simple. Think Fiverr for authors and illustrators only.
Yep. Thank you, Maurice. So we understood the competitors in the landscape, and we tried to come up with the best competitive landscape. And the chart you can see here shows our positioning in the service-based and collaborative work quadrant. So we have Fiverr, Upwork, 99 Design, Artists and Writers Forever. But where they lack, we try to fill the gap. We're trying to focus on collaboration between illustrators and authors, and we want that to be in a service-based, equitable manner that isn't just a one-time project, money-based fee. We conducted a SWOT analysis, and we understood that our main strengths lie in the collaboration and the marketing services we provide. The weaknesses are the barriers to entry. It's a new approach in a relatively old market. Opportunities, we want to focus on children's book to begin with, so that gives us a niche focus, and that's a good start. And in terms of threats, the market size is relatively not as much that could sustain the business. The business model is fairly simple, as outlined in the diagram here. Authors will be connected to illustrators via Inkto. Authors will provide illustrators with a chance to increase their portfolio and gain some revenue streams for their illustrations. Illustrators will provide authors with a chance to share their illustrations and realize them in a book. Inkto, in between, will provide matchmaking services for authors and training and certification for illustrators. The pricing model outlined here will be explained more by Maurice.
So what we'll do is we'll charge for education services in order to fill the gaps for both the illustrators looking to advance their careers and the authors looking to fill their understanding of how to publish, formatting assistance for the authors and illustrators looking to push their books out self-publishing, and then marketing services for any author or illustrator that's looking to grow their revenue.
The cost broke down here include $4,600 for the total cost. $3,200 of that will go into developing the website and the platform, and $400 is reserved for the legal and professional fees, which will include writing the terms of service and a privacy policy. The go-to-market strategy, we only started yesterday, and that's when the team and ideation started. Today, we had to finish up the presentation for demo day. By May, we want to develop the MVP and start user testing. June, beta launch and marketing. August, tracking KPI set and pivot if needed. And in December, we want to just acknowledge the progress we had. And this is the amazing team that brought everything together. And we want to thank you for sitting through the presentation and for all your support in the startup weekend. It was great. Thank you. Hey, Ben, it's number 13. Yeah.
Number 13 it is. Thank you for putting me on the spot. That is exactly right. We've been calling them muted moments throughout the weekend, and we've been keeping tallies, and that's 13. So, Peter, I told you weren't alone, my friend. Kind things to say about everyone watching and everyone participating this evening. What I was seriously saying, though, was nice storytelling. I will restart the clock. Thank you. And go ahead, judges. Looking forward to hearing how you interact with our entrepreneurs.
I can go fast. First of all, thank you for addressing something that affects me personally. I have a friend of mine who happens to be a white lady, and I'm sorry we have to talk about race, but every birthday she's always looking for a card that shows a Black woman and a white woman together. So you guys are onto something. I hope that you consider also venturing into just birthday cards. But I was kind of a little bit impressed with your work, but I have another question. How do you address just the issue of promoting your work, especially now when not so many people it's very difficult to say this. As a person of color, how are you going to sell your work and who's going to buy from you?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'll grab that one. So what we found throughout our research was that the majority of people publishing children's books, only about 5% were actually doing it for the sake of making money. Most other people were doing it for other reasons. And I'll use myself as an example. I didn't really care how many books were sold. I just wanted it to exist and know that I did my part to make a difference. And so there's a large part of the segment with children's books where specifically they just have other things outside of looking to drive revenue or make sales.
So along the same, go ahead.
I had a question just about the business model. How did you arrive at the numbers that you did? For instance, the legal fees. To me, that seemed a little low, but what was the process for arriving at those numbers?
Yep. Do you want me to take that, Maurice?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, sweet. So based on legal fees, they're the ones based in Canada, in particular Vancouver. So it's just using services that lawyers provide and some sample websites to give us the terms of service and privacy policies, and or in case we need a session of consultation to see if there's any other document we should prepare. Yeah, ultimately towards the final launch, other costs will be incurred, but that's our first estimation.
So I have a question. What do authors do today? Because do they go to their local library to try to find an illustrator? Do they just ask around because someone has artist friends? Can you talk about that and like how you guys diagnosed that this was a problem?
Yeah. So currently, most authors are kind of doing a combo of what you're talking about now. They're looking for referrals through people that they know, and then they're leveraging platforms like Fiverr, Upwork, and or Facebook groups in order to try to facilitate or locate someone that kind of makes sense. And so how we kind of came up with that this is a problem. Well, number one, I've dealt with it. And then as I was looking, noticing that other people were dealing with it, but I'm in 5 or 6 other author illustrator groups. And this is one of the biggest problems is knowing who to go to for your style of illustration that you're looking for. And while Facebook is great, it's not really the platform designed for that. So it makes that process a little more cumbersome.
To go a little bit off of what Diane was saying. Go ahead. All right. I'll just jump in real fast. The question that I had was for the buy-in that you have for people. As you are more and more coming up as far as the illustrators and the writers, and you were talking about groups that you've been involved in, what is to prevent somebody else from expanding their existing platform to encompass some of this?
To be honest,
sorry.
Go ahead. You can take it, Paul.
Yeah, sorry. I just wanted to ask a clarification on that. So you mean why wouldn't Fiverr do the same thing or Upwork? Yeah. They could totally do it. Yeah, they could totally do it. Same as like any other startup's biggest fears, like Google or Amazon might do it. But the way I see it, it's not their business model. They have a self-sustaining business model that's been working for months and years. So I see no reason for them to pursue it, at least right now.
Okay. This is Peter, and I have a question about the story started out, and I thought what you were going to say is it was all about having more diverse illustrations, and which it is. But then I thought I heard you say, and maybe I misheard it, that the volume was not the issue. It was about just getting these things, getting children's books published for maybe smaller distribution, which is kind of interesting to me because it sort of it seems like a mismatch to your original, your original hypothesis, which said, you can't get good illustrations that represent a diverse population. Is that what I understood, or did I understand that incorrectly?
Yeah. So what I think you're probably saying is there's a couple of problems with the current system. Number one, it's not designed. It's not facilitating a smooth process from the moment that I realize I want to create a children's story throughout the end when it's ready to be published. I would say for anyone that has access to resources, this is a lot easier because you have connections and you have resources in order to buy or to facilitate a relationship. And that usually impacts our minority communities more in the sense that they don't have access to the same level of resources. So yes, it is impacting minority communities, but it's a universal problem across the fact of like, how do I know where to go and what am I supposed to do, and making sure that I'm getting a good product that I can be proud of.